AHMAD first held a gun at the age of 13. It was 1974 when martial law was imposed nationwide by President Ferdinand Marcos. Years later, he learned how to make and repair illegal weapons. Now martial law is imposed in Mindanao again, after the Maute armed group pledged allegiance to ISIL and seized offices in Marawi City. President Rodrigo Duterte says he intends to clamp down on armed groups suspected of being linked to politicians involved in the illegal drugs trade, and has extended martial law on the island until the end of the year. It's a kind of life that AHMAD knows all too well.
Here, if you are poor, you do not have a voice. In order to protect my family and our livelihood, here, violence is the only word they understand.
The situation is similar all across the island of Mindanao. Decades of armed rebellion has forced many civilians here to acquire firearms illegally, making it difficult for the government to contain. The government estimates there are more than 1 million firearms which are unlicensed. Many are high-powered rifles used by armed groups in Mindanao. Most of the high-powered weapons are manufactured here too. Mindanao has suffered decades of war and armed rebellion, and the instability is one of the main reasons why so many Filipinos here take matters into their own hands.
Because of discrimination and the violence here in Mindanao, it feels as though you are defenseless and there is no security for your family. This is why you are forced to carry guns. Here, if you don't carry guns, they trample on your rights, and this is why guns for us are important.
One of the largest armed groups in Southeast Asia, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, is still pinning its hopes on a peace deal with the Philippine government. This should pave the way for its more than 30,000 fighters to finally lay down their weapons.
These are all the things.
So we will work with government, civilian leaders, and Muslim leaders here. And they are with us, they are on board with us to stop the spread of violence.
AHMAD is almost 60 now and says he cannot remember a time of peace in his homeland. This is why he cannot lay down his weapons, despite the government's effort to go after the illegal guns trade. Jamela, Alindogan, Jazeera, Lanao Del Sur, Southern Philippines.